Video recording for review ad is provided by Whatburner. Take Skype video to the next level. Record, edit, upload at vodburner.com. So let's take two other educational companies with two interesting moves, and let's see what our opinion is about them. So first, Babbel investing in voice recognition, so investing in technology, versus Livemocha investing in human capital, we could say, with their new CEO. And I mean, this new CEO, Michael Schutzler, apparently has in the US, a very nice record of companies he was in. He was CEO. So what's the better move? So to invest in technology, and I think Babbel, maybe not comparing but themselves, but surely going a little bit or want to close the gap with Rosetta Stone and their product. I could imagine that it was at least like on their agenda or somehow an idea. Versus Livemocha saying, okay, we invest in a new CEO, so the human potential of the company.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think the two companies are very different. So Babbel, I think, is trying to develop a method of learning which is effective and they can sell. Whereas I've always seen Livemocha, especially after the recent content deals, as a sort of marketplace. So they would get the users in and then offer other people's content for the users to buy. So they didn't really have to develop their own technology or content that much. So the new CEO move is interesting because they're not really out of the startup. Well, they're not at all out of the startup phase yet. They're still very much a startup. So, I mean, I think it may suggest that their results aren't as good as they were hoping. So they've needed a...
Yeah. You know, what makes me, or what made me a little bit, like, attentive was maybe that it was announced by the board, so itself. So... not having precise information about that, but were they that happy with the strategy and the how the business developed with the previous CEO, or did they think as Schutzler? I mean, he has a record as Classmates was sold for 150 million in 2004. I mean, in 2004 is quite interesting as it wasn't the greatest year of the internet, maybe. So then he was in Monster.com, and he was also, I don't know if board member or investor in something. It was about social gaming as well. So he clearly has, I mean, expertise of both the market and like execution in general, and maybe a more experienced entrepreneur than the other CEO was. So
definitely true. And also, I mean, I got the impression from his interviews that he was starting afresh, or he saw this as a fresh start for the company, rather than building on what was there before.
Yeah, I think so. With this whole heading in the direction of mobile, and then bringing Livemocha on Android, of course iPhone, mobile devices in general. So he seems to have a distinct strategy and idea where he wants to push or maybe not push, but bring the company in. What segment of the market, so, and that seems to be a little bit new for Livemocha. So I think they want to change from this simple marketplace towards something a little bit more innovative now, maybe.
Yeah. What surprised me the most is he said he needs to discover, or the company needs to discover, who their perfect customer is.
Hmm.
Surprised me quite a lot because I thought, well, with 6 million registered users and presumably thousands or hundreds of thousands of paying
Hmm.
customers, you'd have an idea of who your audience was now or who the customer was. So either they're bringing out something completely new soon or in the future, and
Hmm.
they'll have a new audience that they need to discover, or there's not, well, I can't believe there isn't meaningful data from the 6 million people they have. But there's
Although,
something
yeah.
saying, yeah, so that was sort of a telling comment or a puzzling comment.
That was very interesting for me too, because, well, they are very mum, like, and they have always been mum about their data, so nothing precise. So it's mere speculation, of course, now. But if if a CEO like says something that clear,
Hmm.
it seems to be, well, it's interesting, and they might have the feeling not having yet found or identified like best their best customer. And of course, I think companies should always be open to like target new customer groups or
Yeah,
new
of course.
potential customers, of course. So I think it's a mix of both, probably.
Probably. But it was also very interesting that they get so much traffic from Latin America.
Hmm.
Um, it makes me wonder if you consider the sort of the pricing levels they offer,
Hmm.
how much their sort of premium services would appeal to that market. I suspect sort of not very much, whereas it's very cheap here in Europe. In Latin America, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap at all, yeah. Hmm.
So that traffic may not be coming from the best source.
Yeah, and for sure something comes probably, as they are, to my knowledge, like the best funded online educational startup at the moment. So I think after these 2-3 years of trying things out, I think the board is becoming a little bit not not impatient, but I think that they want to become serious now about business, and that the time of experiments and this very first time of a startup maybe is now finished a little bit, at least
Yeah.
to some extent.
I think for them, from a financial, trying to play the part of a board member now,
Mm.
they've raised, I think, did they raise 6 million the first time and 8 million the second time? And
Yeah,
if they
I think
spent
they
that,
are up to 14 million in total now. Yeah.
so if they spent that first round already, and if they spend that second round without finding a business model that works, or, make a profit, it'll be very difficult for them to raise more. So this round of investment has to take them to a stage where they've got a business model.
Yeah.
So I think the board are taking every precaution to make sure they can do that.
Yes, and I think, well, I think there's never a guarantee, but it seems to be that this person um, is probably one of the best capable to bring them to a certain level they now want to
Yeah.
achieve, and yeah, so
Um,
probably a good move.
I mean, he's certainly got a very good track record. I was amazed at the something he was showing at Twitter. I didn't expect the CEO to be doing that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it looked, very promising.
Also for
Uh,
Livemocha, getting such a person taking this job, I think also puts a positive spot on mobile, digital, or online learning in general. I mean, it gets some more exposure, and also that people with such a record then work as CEO of an educational startup. That's something I see generally in a very positive way.
oh yeah, I agree. I think it definitely needs someone who can sort of come up with the new ideas, have them,
Hmm.
new focus, and sort of motivate and lead a team in this sort of very uncertain space that they're in now,
Hmm.
and the position that they're in now.
Right.
So hopefully we could move to the.
Yeah. Hopefully he will maybe give us some more insight or what they are working on, and we will see.
Yes.
So, yeah. So let's see.